Hello everybody, and welcome to this exercise in which I'm going to show you the process of rebuilding an existing space. For example, like this, which is a kitchen. You know, there is something called AutoCAD drawing. That's great to have, but never trust an AutoCAD drawing you didn't create yourself. Because is this, for example, the original drawing? Is this a drawing that also reflects changes during construction? Is it a drawing that reflects changes when remodeling happened, etc.? So it's great to have those, but best is to take measurements yourself. You see the geometry in general is very simplified, and it's actually sufficient to model it this way. Visually, when talking with a client, they can recognize this, they can understand where things are. This is fine. You could be more precise. It might make it look more interesting. If the client pays for it, perfect. But it might not necessarily help you more in this case, for example, building a space into which then we would design a new kitchen. So let's assume we don't have AutoCAD drawings. Now what do we do? Well, we just simply go with the old-fashioned way and take a tape ruler and then start taking measurements on the ground, the height, for example, the length, etc. What's the distance from here to here? What's the distance from there to there? How high is the window off the ground? And so forth. Thankfully, today we also have SketchUp on an iPad, so we could actually take an iPad with us and start modeling right at the space while we take measurements, which I think is much more superior than taking notes by hand, going home, and then trying to rebuild the stuff. Luckily for you, I took all these measurements and I simply show you in the video how this can now be built. Okay, let's do it. So let's start with a new design. Here gets a coffee break. We will go into our top view and parallel projection. Y is north, east is X, and then this is south and west. I want to go to here, and we can see north and west. This is the deck. The deck gets the sunlight in the afternoon. So how do we start mapping everything out? There are really many ways. It's really up to you how you want to approach this. There's no right or wrong. There's maybe more complicated, easier ways. The kitchen itself is a rectangular shape, so I think this is quite easy to start with. So you can see the first number in dimension is X, so the width. So this is 15 feet 6 inches by 20 feet. There we are. Cool. Okay. I can plot down 5 inches of a guideline and 9 inches of a guideline. 9 inches exterior wall, 5 inches interior wall. And then go ahead and draw my lines. There's one way. I could also, by the way, go to the offset command and simply offset to the outside, 5 inches. And look at that, fits perfectly. Now, obviously here, this is not correct. So this line here, we just can bring over. Very nice. Now this is 9 inches. From here, I will continue adding one line, 9 feet. There we are. And then 9 inches. Very good. And I add another segment. This, for example, would go into the dining room. Very nice. Cool. Okay. From here to here and there, where, for example, I'm drawing right now, don't do these lines. This is where the pantry is. And we have here a door. To create this door, I will from here create a guideline. 2 feet and 5.5 inches. That's the measurement I have. And then another guideline, 2 feet 4 inches. Very good. And now here I can draw 2 lines. Okay, this is the opening for the door later. Cool. All this we can remove. There, there. Beautiful. With the guideline, we can do the same also here. 5 inches. And then this will be 3 feet 8 inches. And we do the same. Line and line. Very good. 5 inches. 5 inches. And then there. So it's kind of like drafting on paper. That's why SketchUp for that particular task is actually really good. Very nice. Look at this. We have actually this good layout. First, what we want to do is this center area here. Now we remove. Okay. Yeah, also this line here. And that goes. Zup. Now we have this volume, and here's our door, and here, and here, and here. Now, and then when I do the push and pull, you see, however, only one segment goes up. Okay. So this height is 95 inches. Now we can do this on all these segments here. 95. Yeah, no. Okay. And do the same here. 95. And there, 95. And for example, here, 95. Cool. The issue we ran into in this case is now you noticed some of these tiny issues here. Okay, so this actually did not work out as good as I hoped. So when I bring this one up, 95, let's see. You see we have this hollow part. Okay, can we fill this? When we draw a line there, yeah, it does. You see it filled it, and then this space here, now I can select and simply right click and flip. Reverse face, there it is. Yeah, that was it, easy peasy. This here, for example, I can delete now. I'm going to show you multiple ways how we can model something. Okay. From the bottom up, that's actually 80 inches for the height. So I can add a guideline, 80 inches. There we are. And then there I draw a cross line. You see? Very good. And then this we connect. Oh, look at that. SketchUp fused it together. There I removed these other lines. And there we are. There are a lot of beginner mistakes that can be made when we model such a space at the beginning. So that's the reason why I approach this in many various ways. It's always good to know how to fix something. Because actually, irony is, even in my demo, I did not assume this mistake here to happen, so I need to fix it. Very good. I'll show you how to fix it. And you do the same. All this, for example, goes tuck, tuck, tuck. Very good. Now, from the bottom up, again, 80. And then here I draw this line. Very good. Before I continue, I would like to show you something. You see how I'm pulling down guidelines and then they always snap over these edges. Look how beautiful actually this worked out. Suck there. Very good. Now they're all at the same level and I can bring this over and this over. And then clean this up. So this is kind of like the method how you can start drawing everything from the ground. Like a plan view, you already indicate on the plan view where the openings are, and then we draft all the stuff up. Cool. Okay. Here we have a 45-degree extension. So let's draw a line. Maybe we can make this only suggestive 5 feet. Okay. And then this line I would like to rotate 45 degrees. Cool. Now, the whole wall is 5 inches, so I can do a guideline. The guideline now has to be parallel 2.5 inch and parallel 2.5 inch. Can we draw this? Yeah, I think this is 90 degree. Very good. And 90 degree there. Very good. Clock removed. Yeah, cool. Let's say we are just removing all this. I want to show you an additional trick. We want this line to be really 90 degree. Yeah, do this. We just draw an extra line. This extra line, now we can select and rotate exactly 90 degrees. Then there where it intersects, there we continue drawing. You see, easy peasy. And then this whole thing, we bring up, remove this, clean this up. This is going to be a nice exercise here again. I just don't want to do dimensions too much. I simply plug everything on it. 5 inches there and there, and cut through. Super. Yay. Very good, no? Okay. For example, where a door or such a pass-through is, it's very easy to see in the construction documents. A window, something outside, sometimes not as much. Plus then we don't really have this exact dimensions. We have all the trim, etc. So for example, in this case, now, because I have to remodel an existing piece, I just took a dimension from this corner to there, this corner to there. So that's actually then one way how we can easily do this. So let's do that. This whole wall has to be grouped. So let's make a group. There we are. Now, I know from the top down 15.5 inches, and here from this corner 1 foot. Very nice. Okay. And then 97.5 inches to the right. This is not the opening, but this is where the trim actually would sit on. So let's actually create the trim. I go more in a top view. Here I start trying to figure out where's this intersection. There it is. So along the x-axis, 1/2 inch. There we are. From this point along the y-axis, 2.5 inches. Along the x-axis, 0.25 inches. And then we can connect this. And then here you see how I'm drawing the path for the follow me command. Correct. Zip, zip, there. Okay. It's a little bit, I would say nearly reverse engineering. We need to find where's the opening. This is now good. We can make a group. Very nice. Then here, actually, sorry, we go to the wall, double click. So we're going to edit the group. And then from this corner to there, I draw a rectangle. And check this out. Now I push and pull, eat it through. And there it's open. So you see, that's actually how easy it is then to find the opening inside a wall when we don't really, how could I say that? We don't have the exact dimensions for the opening itself. So let's do the window. Here, we can do 53 down. Sorry, I meant from the bottom, this goes 40.25 up. There we are. Then from this corner here, not this corner, this edge, the distance between the window and the door is 38.75. And then the whole from trim to trim, that is 53 inches. Again, that's not the inside opening, no? And then the whole thing 42.75. Okay, cool. So here now we will do the same. Let's quickly draw the trim. So 2.5 inches. And this is the inside, 0.25. Escape from here along the z-axis, 0.5. And then we can connect this. Very good. This whole shebang we're going to rotate now. Yeah, we need to switch the orientation. For the rotation tool, I press the left arrow key there, click, click, click. There we are. Very nice. Now this is at the end, not necessarily very good, so I move this one up a little bit. Yeah, then let's draw our rectangle. The face we can remove, and then with the follow me, there we are. And do a little bit of cleanup here. There we are. Select everything, make group, and then all the stuff I don't need, guidelines are gone. So you see now there is another snap target, simply to put in the opening for our window, which I did on the outside wall, so that was kind of silly. But I can still use it. I just hit the frame, triple click into edit group for the wall, and then we just redraw the rectangle one more time, snap to there. Yep, it went through, exit the group, and this whole thing we delete there, and then we show everything. Cool. Okay. You see? Quite easy. So how do we do this framework? Can we do maybe a recycling? Let's see. That's an easy piece. So I made a copy, and then I will rotate this 90 degrees. Thank you. Whoop. And then I will line up this point with there. So there we can see, the rest now doesn't really fit. I can go into edit everything. I select the lower and the upper edge. Very nice. And then I go move and say you move along the z-axis till you snap to there. Thank you. And then we do the same here. I only need to select these two faces, no other edges. You see, when I move these, the rest follows along the y-axis. And there. So this is how easy it is then to reuse actually a trim. We don't scale it, and that's the thing I would like to point out here. We didn't scale, we just we just moved edges to make it fit. Very good. Okay. Let's do a quick exercise filling the window. So we have somewhere kind of like a center post. And I don't really have much dimensions here. So I find the midpoint, 1 inch, 1 inch. How this looks on the outside, who knows? We don't show the outside, so we can simplify this a little bit. There we are. There's this center piece that's kind of like the divider between the left and the right window. Triple click, make a group, delete all these guidelines, and then here we draw in our window. That is 2.75 for the offset. Delete this. And 1.5 for the thickness. Triple click there. Now let's make a group and flop. Okay, they're a little bit too far back and they're kind of like really on the outside of the house. So maybe let's move them in and 3 inches. So looks like there's a little bit of a space. Cool. Okay. So the way how we very quickly block this out. Now you can see already, hey, this doesn't look too bad. Let's hide this. Kind of something missing and makes sense, no? Let's see how quickly we can model this space here. First, we're putting down the threshold, 1.5 of an inch. And then this goes up 1 inch. Then here this goes up 1/2 of an inch. Now this horizontally 0.75 of an inch. And then we connect this. And then this we can drag out. Bonk. Again, this is a piece that symbolizes, hey, there's a threshold. Okay, so now, next thing. We have a door here, no? I do it in a very simplified manner. That's not 100% correct, but check out how I'm using geometry to solve this. 2.75 for the offset. Kind of like how we did this with the window. And then this 1.5 goes in. Now we can see, and obviously that doesn't really work. Okay, so let's see. So from here, we plot down a midline. There it is. No, 2.75 divided by 2. 2.75 divided by 2 is 1.375. Okay. So 1.375. Okay. I'm going to hide the wall because here, this edge and this edge, that has to go over along the y-axis to this guideline. And if this is correct, if I make a group copy and then make a copy and align this one kind of like here, and then this whole thing I move along the y-axis till it snaps to there. They have to perfectly overlap. Now you see left and right. So they're next to each other, over each other. Show everything. Is there a gap? No, it fits perfect. Well, obviously, now it sticks out. So the whole thing here, we can take a look from the bottom. That's also why I do not put in a floor, because the floor would be all the time in my way. I move this forward. There we are now. This can be removed. And then this is actually the door that along the y-axis can slide And when it goes into lock, you see the whole frame width overlaps and creates the seal. Very nice. Cool. Okay. We can at this point now put in the pocket door. Let's go to here. Let's hide this for the moment. And there you see, there's a pocket door. It's actually nearly touching on top because obviously there's a rail. It slides on it. Or it's actually inside based on the construction. The wall is hollow. It's a pocket. And the door goes in there. This is a 1 inch thickness and a 2-inch pocket. Very good. Okay. Also here, all we need to do is just make something that makes sense. So there are many ways how we can approach this. This is 5 inches. So if I would like to have 2 inches, I could very easily find, is there anywhere the midpoint? There's the midpoint. 1 inch. 1 inch. Now, this is, for example, now where the pocket would be, and then 0.75 and 0.75. That is now for the door. Okay, so there's our door. This edge here, now I slide forward till it hits there, really only along the x-axis. Okay, now because now I can see how far is this, for example, inside or still inside the wall. It needs to be a little bit. How much, who really knows? It doesn't really matter as much. Here, we can extend this a tick. And then let's bring this up. There we are. This right now would really scratch on the ground. Let's bring this up 0.5, half of an inch. Oop, wrong direction. Half an inch is maybe too much, 0.25. Okay. So that's actually quite nice. Now we can triple click, make a group. Thank you. And I will do the following. I will now select this element and just bring it back into the wall. So I can see somewhere there it is. Goody. So what I will do now is I will plot down inside the wall design here another line. There line, this goes up. And then I can extend the wall a little bit. Cool. Thank you. And then I delete this line. See, I still have the guidelines. Now I can select this point, drag this out to there, snapping onto the outer guidelines, and then the whole thing goes up to the top. Oh, look at there. There's my pocket door. Oh, and this hole is way too big. Maybe we make this fit. There, snap on it. Let's get out of the group. There we are. And the pocket door is actually done. Cool. Now let's take a look at the pantry. There we are. I'm going to hide the wall and all this stuff. Now there you see how this is built. Essentially, it's kind of like an E with them openings, and then we have the trim that goes all over it. Now, the way how I put the trim for the window is kind of okay. For the door, yeah, not necessarily. Or it's actually also okay. Tiny details are missing. But here now with an accordion door, you see there's a gap. We don't want to see this gap. So the trim hangs over a little bit. That's an important detail actually to keep in mind. Okay, so let's go to here. How do we start? Simply maybe a guideline, 7 feet 3 inches. There we are. And then from here 2 feet. So we can plus minus see how big is this pantry area. And we do one more verification. That seems awfully long. 87 inches. Yeah, no, that's correct. Good. So, and then here we draw our stuff. We do have 5-inch thick walls. Okay, so here 5 inches and 5 inches. Thank you. And where it intersects there, I draw something like this. There we are. Cool. And then we have also here a wall in the inside, and I took the measurements for it. So from here, this is 3 feet. And then 5 inches. And this now should be 3 feet 5 inches. Yeah. Okay, very good. And important, we just connect this. All these guidelines now I remove. We don't need those anymore. And this line there I remove. And then this goes. Oh yeah, I hit the wall, so I could show these edges. They need to go. And then this you see is 1 unit. We bring up. There we are. Cool. Okay. Now basically we can plan out where are the openings for the doors. So we take a look here at the bottom and we can really see, oh, this is just pure material thickness. So this is actually quite easy. What's the height here? Maybe here I just select this edge, 81 inches. Okay. So we can go to here and I do the following. See how I'm drawing a line and drawing a line. And then this 81 inches. Oops, not feet, no. 81 inches. There. Clean up. There we are. Here we have a 5-inch material thickness. So there we are. You can see how I plotted this out. Bring this down, snap to there. A little bit more cleanup. Cool. So you see it's actually quite easy how I'm carving all these details out of the space. Okay, nice. And when we go back to our trim here for the pantry, now we can see here there's a slight overhang. Take a measurement, 1/2 inch. The rest, height-wise, for example, it's exactly the same. Okay, so what's now the easiest way to do this here? So I can maybe look at the bottom. First, I want to make sure that all this is a group. No? And then I can start drawing my piece. Let's say here. This is then 2.5 inches. There we are. This is the inside, 0.25 inches. And here from this corner, 0.5 inches. And then there I connect this. Okay. And then we know, again, now 1/2 inch overhang. Zip. There. And then 1/2 inch. There we are. Cool. We can then simply draw the path we need for this follow me command. There we are. and then follow this around. Clong. Select all, make a group. Cool. How do we bring this over now so that it matches? That's actually quite easy too. I will hide, no, actually I'm going to hide the wall. Then I will go to this view, copy from the midpoint to this midpoint. When you see height-wise, now that's wrong. So the position is correct, left, right, but not top down. And now I can move this up along the z-axis. I press the up arrow key, click, there we are. I can also hide the pantry because I noticed I have these lines here. So if I want, I clean these up. This is an artifact from the follow me path. There. Cool. Okay. Now, how do we do the accordion door? I find it very easy, again, trying to think about this in a very geometrical way. From here to there, I can draw a rectangle. So 3 inches to, now the question is, what's the thickness? So let's quickly go and take a measurement. Oh, 1.5 inches. Okay. It's a really as simple as it sounds as a tip. You can go to books and look for stuff. You can also actually take measurements of everything you have surrounding as a student and start memorizing these dimensions, because guess what? They're all standardized. So this is a 3-foot by 1.5 inch rectangle. Cool. Okay. Where is the midpoint? Oh, there it is. Okay. So now this line we're going to move over. And yeah, now here we need to bring this line over a little bit. So let's say we go 1/4 of an inch. Okay. This now we can remove. And then this whole thing, I will slide back along the x-axis by, let's say, 0.25 of an inch. Okay, now, and then we can move this one up. For example, till it hits the ceiling. That's not necessarily super correct, and there's a gap. There's also the mechanics, the rail for everything in. But as long as we're not on the ground, look up, we don't see this. But maybe what we want to do is move this lower part up, and we match it, for example, with the pocket door. There, thank you. Now, let's make a group, make a copy. There we are. How do we get this now to the other side? Here's a little simple trick. Check this out. I copy everything together with the frame. Or no, wait. Hold on 1 second. Let me try something. Well, first, whoa, no, you be there. Thank you. So these two I would like to copy. So from this reference point to this reference point. Okay, good. There. Finished. This is now a moment where, if we want, we can also add a foundation under it. There to there. 10 inches, so it looks sufficient. I'm extending everything a little bit. There. Then maybe here. I plot down 2 guidelines, line. What is going on there? Whoa. Interesting. This is actually scary. Why is this not straight? Okay, that is quite interesting what happened here. So, this might be something that's unique now here to my situation, but it looks like I have some quite interesting artifacts that popped up. Okay. This is maybe a classic point of somewhere something rotated a little bit. So I'm 100% sure that I designed this actually in a very clean way. So I will simply make myself here a new wall, but hold on, as a new object. There we are. There. Oh, hold on. Sorry for the hiccup. And again, this is what I'm doing here right now only is relevant in case you had a similar issue like I had. You see how I'm matching the height and the thickness? There, I'm overlapping everything, make a group, and then these two I will union. Somewhere is an issue. So somewhere I have like a tiny problem. Now, one could say, oh, this is embarrassing. This happened to class because you should know this better. But it's actually good this happened. And the reason why I leave this here is simply so you know, I know this program really well. And even with me, sometimes something can go wrong. You see how I'm clicking all these faces? Oh, look, they are slightly angled. Wow, how did this happen? Because we did these edges with an offset, so they should be perfect. Something shifted there. So yeah, I don't want to make this video now needlessly extra long. I am drawing this simply down and seeing, can I clean out these segments? So yeah, I can. So this is actually quite interesting. Why did this then however work? See here how I'm blocking the stuff out. SketchUp is not going to just dictate me something works. So I'm using the axes to just plop this in, and there, look at that. Clean, still garbage, but okay. We kind of like circumvented this. So you saw how I built a wall by just creating the wireframe and then patching in the faces. It's another modeling technique. Cool. Okay, so lesson from this: stuff can go wrong, even if you're pro. It's always good to know multiple ways how to model, because then you can fix it. Okay, anyway, this video got a little bit longer than anticipated, but I would say that this is now really good. We have a space, and now we can build stuff into it.